Well, hello, this is Deborah Johnson with the Power of After Show. We are all about helping those at mid career, half time of life move forward in life. And right now, what I'm talking about in this episode, in this show, is reframing self leadership for an AI world, which is extremely relevant. Well, how often are you asked to upgrade an order, an experience, or even a trip that you've already booked? Probably quite often. And while those upgrades often come with a cost, well, we rarely question them once the foundation of a purchase is in place. And that same principle is true at this stage of life. You're not starting over. You've already built so many years of experience and you've built your skills and you have so many resources. But in a world that's rapidly changing with AI and new technology, it can feel like you're just being asked to relearn everything. And the truth is, you're not behind, but you're being invited to upgrade. And today we're going to look and talk about what that really looks like as you lead yourself forward with self leadership into what's next. So stay tuned. You've spent years building what matters. Now, with Power of After courses and elite mentorship, it's time to move forward with intention and impact. This is the Power of After Show. Let's get started. Everywhere we look, we're being offered an upgrade. Amazon suggests adding to our cart. Well, a server offers an appetizer or a specialty drink. And travel companies, I just had one do this to me, invited me to upgrade rooms, flights, or experiences. Well, these extras, they usually come at a cost. But once we've made the main decision, well, we usually don't hesitate too much when we're considering the upgrade. We think, oh, yeah, we could do that. Well, that same principle applies to mid-career and the halftime of life. You're not starting from scratch. You already have a foundation. You just need to affirm that. Your foundation is built on years of experience, skills, and resources. And if you are a mom coming back into the field, especially, that is really, really important because a lot of you are not validating your experience. You have a huge amount of experience. And when we shift our mindset to see this stage as an upgrade, not a restart, we step into that kind of self leadership needed to answer the question, what's next? And this is especially important in a time when artificial intelligence, it's evolving so fast, so quickly. New tools, updates, and conversations, they are everywhere. If you've not been online, then you're not as familiar with this, but most of us are. And it can feel like you're being asked to go back to school. And just when you thought you had everything figured out. But here's the reframe. You're not starting over. You're just upgrading. That is such a great mindset. And I really want to focus on that today. From that perspective, we can focus with our self-leadership, so important, on where we're positioned, how we take ownership of our learning curve with AI, and what actually needs to be learned, and what real progress looks like moving forward. So I'm going to hit on all of these points today in this show. First of all, I'm just going to reaffirm that main point. You're not behind, you're positioned. And at this stage of life and career, you bring something incredibly valuable to the table. Your experience, your judgment, your relationships, and your perspective. AI doesn't replace those strengths. It just amplifies them. And the truth is, the people who will thrive in this next chapter aren't the ones who just know the most about technology. They're the ones who know how to think, how to adapt, and how to lead themselves forward. For example, As I've taken the time, and I've really taken a step back to do this, to evaluate my own skills and direction, well, I've realized that I have very strong self production abilities in both audio and video. That doesn't mean that I'm producing stuff all the time, but it's opened the door for me to produce my own audiobooks and expand into video more confidently, especially today. Video is just king. You want to put out the video on almost everything. And it doesn't mean I do everything myself because I can hire some of that out, but I do understand the process well enough to manage it very effectively. And no, it doesn't always come easily. I've been just as frustrated as anyone else listening to this when a new program doesn't work or a tool suddenly stops cooperating. It's extremely frustrating. But what I've learned over the years is this: there's always a solution because I've been there before. And with a bit of persistence, curiosity, and follow through, you can figure it out. Yes, I have been through this so many times because I've been in a technical field and I know what it feels like to be stuck for hours at a time. And that's where qualities like perseverance and tenacity really, really matter. They're not just helpful, they're essential as we continue to learn, to adapt, and to grow. So, what does self leadership look like today? I mean, that's a really like a term that's been used for so many years. Well, self leadership in an AI world isn't about mastering everything overnight. It's about choosing your mindset. Now, on my YouTube channel, I have a whole separate playlist on mindset. It's extremely important. I've just really tried to reorganize my YouTube channel to be more specific on different topics. So make sure you check that out. You can find the links in the article that comes with this. Now, you can choose curiosity over resistance, progress over perfection, and action over waiting. Okay, so let's say that again. You can choose curiosity over resistance, progress over perfection. That's really important, by the way. We have a perfection society. Everything looks perfect when people are posting online. Many times it does. Are you just choosing progress? You're not just choosing perfection, and you're choosing action over waiting. That's extremely important as well. For many, especially those coming out of structured careers or learning environments, this shift can feel unfamiliar. I call it coming out of a little box that you've been sitting in for years. You have your instructions on what you need to do, your goals that are set pretty much for you. So now it's different. There's really no syllabus and no one's assigning you what to learn next or to do next. And that's the point. Self leadership means that you take ownership of your own learning. You become the architect of your own growth. Extremely important. This has been important in my life for so many years, and it's even more important right now in the age of AI. And that said, you don't have to do it alone. A strong mentorship program can provide guidance and accountability and perspective, not just professionally, but personally as well. And I provide one of those for select individuals that apply. I am happy to do that. I love to do that sort of program with people to help them move forward. But what matters most now is consistency. Daily habits carry far more impact than occasional just bursts of effort. Even 10 to 15 minutes of focused learning, it can build real momentum over time. And if you exercise and if you work out, you know this is true. It's very helpful if you're having trouble in a certain area. Like for me, it's flexibility. If I spend just a little extra time on that, I find the next day, well, it might be a little bit easier. Like today, I was doing some step ups and I was having some issues with my sciatica. But I've started doing those step ups. It's becoming easier again because it gets hard and then it's easier because you have to build up to this. Now, these daily habits might look like this: maybe exploring one new tool, testing one simple idea, or saving a useful prompt. What about asking a better question? Now, this can come with prompts. Very important. I'm going to give you some clues on that in a moment. These small actions, just those little actions, build confidence, and confidence builds courage to keep going. So, fear often shows up as these comments. Have you made these to yourself before or heard them maybe from some other people? Oh, I'm too late. Or, this is just way too complicated. But waiting, it leads to stagnation, and action creates clarity. And that curiosity fuels growth. We just have to move. You know what a stagnant little pool of water does if you don't do anything to? We have a fountain. If we ignored that water or didn't let the water flow in it, I mean, it turns green. It's pretty ugly. Cleaning out becomes much more difficult. But when we clean it up, we keep the water going in it, action creates clarity. We have clear water. It's a beautiful fountain. And the same goes true with our learning and our self-leadership. So what actually needs to be learned? Well, one of the most important mindsets when approaching AI is to keep it simple and non-intimidating. Now, how do you do this? Well, you don't need to become a tech expert, but you do need to become comfortable and capable in using tools. I mean, this is a life tool now that we all need to have. And while you still may get stuck at times, you can remember this. There's almost always a solution. So let's start with some basics. What AI can and can't do, especially right at this time, what it can and can't do. And this is going to be affirming for you. This is what AI can do. It can generate ideas. Oh, I use this all the time. Give me ways to say the same thing, and then all of a sudden I'm thinking of something else that it'll lead to. I wish I had this when I was producing some of my musicals. That would have been so helpful in those scripts. I just up all night trying to think of these things. Well, AI now can help you rephrase things, generate ideas. It can summarize information. It can help you write and organize and assist with planning and research. There are so many things it can do. And you don't need all these fancy tools to do it. All you need to do many times is some basic account. I use ChatGPT mostly. I use a couple other tools as well. My husband uses Grok. It's amazing how fast it is. And I have a minimum that I pay each month, but it gives me a few more abilities, such as graphics and some other things that I've really used quite a bit. It's amazing. Now, what can't it do? It can't replace your judgment. Your judgment is unique. Your point of view is unique. Your worldview is unique. AI just can't replace your judgment. And it can't fully understand and nuance the way you do things. So it can understand some of the way you do things if you have your own GPT. I have my own GPT with a lot of my material, so it knows what I've talked about in the past. It knows my articles. It knows my tone of voice. But AI can't build meaningful relationships. That's up to us. That's up to me to set up lunches, to set up copies, to set up phone calls, to set up Zoom calls with people. That's those meaningful relationships, and to show up. And AI can't define my purpose. I need to do that for myself and my own core values. I can enter them into my AI, my personal GPT, so it knows what that is, but I need to define that. And when you understand this, the fear, it just begins to fade a bit. It's not taking over your life. And you're not competing with AI. You're learning how to use it effectively. And one of the most valuable tools and the skills that you can develop is prompting. And I'm going to talk about this just real simply, because better questions lead to better results. And I've learned a lot from my husband this way because Greg, he's been on this podcast with me about maybe once a quarter now. I bring him on, but he has been so good in sales. And and what he says is usually you just need to be able to ask the right questions. And when someone is telling, they're saying one thing, you just say, and then what next question can you ask? This is very important too for those who are journalists. They need to just ask better questions. And this is what helps with AI as well, to ask clearly, provide the context, and refine your requests as you go. I'm learning on this. And the quality then of your input, it directly shapes the quality of your output. This is really, really important. And I recommend keeping track of prompts that work well and refining them over time. And there's many places that give you some prompts. I've listened to podcasts that said, okay, download our free prompts. We're going to give you all these prompts, but they really need to be your prompts for your specific area. You can usually refine those a bit. And this becomes your personal library of thinking tools. Usually other people's prompts, it can become a launching point to help you think about it. But you really want to put your own prompts in there to where your experience really shines. It knows what your voice is because you already know how to think. And now you're learning how to direct that thinking through new tools. And this is so important. It's become like an assistant to me because then I can say, well, rephrase this in my voice and make it clearer. Make sure that the point I'm making this point. And it's just amazing how fast that is in writing. So here's what progress looks like. Progress isn't perfection. And many people will get stuck on this because we are a perfectionist society. We feel like we need to look right. We need to walk right. We need to dress right. There's so many things that we end up focusing on that. And you don't need to master AI to use it. You just need to engage with it and not be afraid of it. And one of AI's greatest strengths is content creation and repurposing. It can take one idea and turn it into multiple formats. Even if you're doing, a memoir, it's very, very helpful. Writing a little note, it can help you, how do I say this, a little better, a little warmer. It can help with posts, with clips and podcasts, live streams and articles, so many things, and helping you simplify your workflow and to stay consistent. I use it every day now. It's not about just doing more. It's about doing really what you're already doing more efficiently and with greater impact. And if you're not already writing or journaling, well, now is a great time to start. And putting your thoughts into words, it helps to clarify your message, to strengthen your voice, and to build connection in a crowded marketplace. This is so helpful. And AI can also support better decision making, and it can quickly analyze information, it can compare options and surface insights. And for example, just this morning, Greg, my husband, he was asking AI why the financial market was up. In fact, I asked him, and he said, oh, let me just check. He actually gave me an answer. He said, I think I know. This is why. But he went to his AI tool, and AI provided the supporting data, like changes in gas prices, that helped him confirm his thinking. And he still used his own judgment. He's very knowledgeable in that field, but AI gave him added clarity and the sources, and that's what progress looks like. Using AI as a tool to enhance what you already know, not to replace it. This helps in most every single field: the arts, the creative arts, the writing, the production. It helps in almost every single field. So how do we apply this? How do we move forward with confidence? That's what I want you to do, because this is self-leadership. This is not leading a group. This is leading yourself. And the biggest risk today isn't using AI. It's avoiding it. It's easy to think, well, I'll just figure it out later. Or I don't have time, or, oh, this just feels overwhelming. And those thoughts, they are completely understandable, but they can also not get you stuck, but keep you stuck. Progress doesn't come from just waiting. It comes from taking one small step at a time. And you don't need to master AI. You just need to engage with it, and then you will learn and grow. And you'll learn to trust it a little bit too, and question it. Because at times, there's been times I'm thinking, that doesn't sound exactly right. Can you do that again? Or give me the actual source and go a little bit deeper, ask another question. And there'll be moments of confusion. Things won't always work the first time, right? If you've been in a technical field, you are going, oh, amen to that. Things don't always work the first time. Oh, my goodness. But that's part of the process. You can't quit. And it's how learning happens. And remember, you're not starting from zero. You've already built valuable skills, valuable experience, and valuable relationships. And now you're adding adaptability, you're adding new tools and expanded capabilities. And that's how you stay relevant, how you continue to grow and lead yourself forward. So I'm going to give you your next step to really apply this. Set aside maybe just 10 minutes this week. And what I know about this, that time will expand. Just to choose one tool, and try one simple action. Now, you might have AI do this. Ask AI to help outline an idea. Now, you may be far beyond this. You think, well, do this in a little bit different area if you're thinking about self-leadership instead of just doing a project. Maybe rewrite a paragraph. This can even be a journal paragraph that you want to put down in a memoir or something. Maybe generate content from something you've already created. Maybe just do something a little different than something you've already done. Now, many people listening to this, you've probably explored AI already because maybe you're using some tool instead of just Google now, because they're so linked in. Well, Google has its own AI as well. You're already using AI. So if you'd like a place to start, you can explore some of the tools I use. I have some at Halftime Success. You can get that at halftimesuccess.com, along with additional resources on my website. I use these tools all the time for not just video editing, but takeaways and rephrasing and doing shortcuts of things, graphics. So I share those tools with you. You can look at and see at least what I'm using every single week. So you're not behind and you're not too late. You're in a powerful position because you already have what matters the most. And now, if you want to really build in this area, especially for your own self-leadership and your knowledge, there's a lot coming, not just a lot that's now, and it's moving very fast. And now is the time to build on the AI, your self-leadership, with curiosity, intention, and really a recommitment and rephrasing and a restarting that self-leadership. So I hope this has been inspiring to you. Get the article that comes with this because you'll be able to get some of those takeaways and application points and some other resources that I put in there. And want to make sure that you get those. I put an article out every single week. And so make sure that you get those, that you're getting our newsletter as well. You can get all of that online as well. My newsletters, the main newsletter, comes also out on LinkedIn and my other social media sites. So make sure that you are getting those. But if you get it emailed, you get a lot more goodies in there. I give you more links to videos and other things that I have on my YouTube channel. So thanks so much for joining me. And I will look forward to seeing you next time on live streams and on Power of After. So thanks so much. I'll see you again soon. Bye-bye for now. Thanks so much for spending time with me today. I love bringing you insights to help you maximize your skills, resources, and experience at mid-career and beyond so that you can make your next chapter your most impactful and purposeful yet. I'm Deborah Johnson, and I can't wait to be with you again next time on the Power of After show.